Hey guys, welcome back to the Money Maniacs channel. We are going to do a little bit of a history and a couple of Confederate notes that I have here. As you can see in my previous videos within the last week or so from the time this aired, which is February 23rd, 2024. You can see we're kind of going down a rabbit hole here a little bit with currency, with just diving into the history of it. Like, take for instance here, this is the Confederate State of America. Confederate State America. Well, there's a of America. A little bitty of in there. It's a $20 bill. Now, this bill, it did come out of Richmond, Virginia, but it can be used anywhere. It can't, not just in Virginia. See, now you have the bills like the state of Alabama, the state of Mississippi, the state of Georgia, you know, for the Bank of Augusta, Georgia thing. Those were basically used in those states for their currency. This here, however, is Confederate states, so that meant all the Confederate states at the time. Oh, I just bumped the table. Sorry about the shaking. You could use this bill and to buy and get things that you needed, you know, what have you, like we do today. I like the artwork that they put on these, the history, the way they made them. My camera's just bouncing all over the place for some reason today. Like, take for instance this here. This is the Capitol building of Nashville, Tennessee, back in the day. That's what it would look like. And I have the camera pretty low so that way we can get a good picture of this here. This gentleman over here, his name was Alexander Hamilton, and he was the vice president. Alexander Hamilton Stevens. So his name is Alexander Stevens. His middle name is Hamilton. So another little tidbit of information for you there. He was born February 11th of 1812. The reason he's on the $20 bill is he was the vice president of the Confederate states while they were Confederate states. He was the vice president. After the war, I find this a little funny and a little sad at the same time, to throw some humor into this. He was imprisoned only for 5 months. So when the Union captured him, they put him in prison for 5 months at Boston's Fort Warren. And then upon his release, and this is where I start respecting the man. He joined the U.S. Senate under President Andrew Johnson's Forgiving Reconstruction Scheme. However, his delegates and stuff were not so forthcoming with open arms there at the Senate chambers and stuff when they were conducting their business. They wouldn't give him a seat. So he used from public life to pen a constitutional view of the late war between the states, 1868 to 1870, which is a 2-volume apology for the Confederacy of what they did, you know, on his behalf and what he believed. He realized he was wrong. You know, whether you want to forgive him or not, that's completely, you know, your choice. He's no longer on Earth, so it's kind of a moot point in a way. But it's nice to see that he, at the end of his life, he tried to redeem himself, not just in the public eye, but also in his personal life of, like, look, I was wrong, I apologize, please forgive me, things of that nature. Between 1873 and 1882, after, you know, he got out of the prison, he joined in the war and everything, he was elected governor of the state of Georgia. He was in the U.S. House of Representatives. He got out of there in 1882, and then the same year, he was elected governor. They still wanted him in office, and Georgia said, hey, will you come delegate for us, you know, as the governor of the state? We could use your knowledge. Which, to me, kind of spoke volumes of the man after he realized what he did was wrong. I'm not trying to make this an apology whatsoever on his part. I'm just stating the facts here. He did die in office on March 4th, 1883. So he was only governor for about a year, and then he died while he was in office. Um, you know, and so the next bill I have here uh, is a $50 Confederate States, the Confederate States of America, and this here was also from Richmond, and this gentleman here that they put the portrait in the middle, and they put all the cursive and all the funny looking designs on the side, which I really like how they did this bill. His name was Jefferson Davis, and he was the president of the Confederate States of America, you know, from the Civil War from 1861 to 1865. After the war, he was in prison for 2 years. We just talked about Alexander Stephens was in prison for 5 months. He was in prison for 2 years, and he was indicted for treason, but was never tried, which I find a little odd, but the legal system back then was a lot different than what it is today. But I do like what he tried to do while he was the Confederate president, but I understand why it was not accepted. In February 18th, and February 18th, 1861, his first act was to send a peace commission to Washington, D.C. to prevent an armed conflict. Now, Lincoln refused to see his emissaries, and the next month decided to send armed ships to Charleston, South Carolina. So Lincoln said, no, you need to revise this a little bit before you come back to the table. Jefferson Davis didn't see why he would need to revise it, so that's pretty much how our Civil War started. Lincoln sent troops down to try to, because they thought, you know, within 48 hours, this is going to commence, this is going to be done. They'll go back home and realize, well, that was just a stupid idea trying to go against the government. Because when he settled down to South Carolina to resupply for the Bellegarde Union garrison at Fort Sumter, he reluctantly ordered the bombardment of the fort on April 12th and April 13th of 1861, which marked the beginning of the Civil War. 2 days later, Lincoln called for 75,000 volunteers, a move that brought about the secession of Virginia and 3 other states from the Union. I'm not going to get into all that type of history of the Civil War, how it started. We're going to focus on the bill today. But this here it's if you collect this stuff, and the reason I do these videos, if you collect this, it's nice to know the history behind what you're collecting and what you're into. So that's why I'm doing these. Plus, I'm a big history nerd anyway. I just love this type of stuff. I've kept this video a little longer than I wanted to, and I apologize for that. If you're still watching, I appreciate it. As you can see, I'm thinking about sending this off. You can leave me your opinions. It is a little bit of a shift error on the back here, where it is shifted. I just don't know if PMG or PCDS would call. See, if you look at the front, it's completely aligned where it's supposed to be with all the borders, everything. But if you look at the back, it's shifted over a little bit. So I don't know if that's shifted enough for them to put you know, misaligned error or something on that. If I don't sell this, it's definitely worth something that I would want to send off just because of that, to see if I could get the attribute of the error on it. But let me know what you think, guys. If you could do me a big favor, if you could send this video out, if you could share this video for people that love the history of the bills, that are just history nerds in general, maybe they're Civil War buffs. If you get it the thumbs up for us, I'd greatly appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, think about subscribing to us. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps our algorithm out. I've been on YouTube for about 5 years now, and I do have a goal. I haven't met it yet. I am trying to get to 1,000 subs, so I'm kind of behind the scenes pushing for that. So if you could help me out with that, I'd be greatly appreciative. So if you could share these out, maybe they might find it interesting. And as you can see, I have other content related to Confederate stuff, or just history of old bills and that nature, along with some other stuff. We've done a lot of lives. We've done a lot of different videos, different content, anything that deals with money, currency, coins, gold, silver, bullion. You know, we're money maniacs. We deal with all of it. Right now, we're just kind of in the rabbit hole of currency. So I appreciate you guys coming along with us with this journey. Until next time, guys, this is Money Maniac signing out. Y'all have a great day.